You know, from a simple handshake to sharing a meal, we're sending signals to each other all the time. But what are we really saying? Well, today we're going to decode the unspoken language of hospitality, this powerful ancient code that shapes how we connect with strangers and friends all across the globe.
We like to think some signals are universal, right? A smile, a nod, pretty straightforward. But what if I told you that nonverbal communication is not a global language at all? In fact, a simple gesture that seems totally normal to you could mean something completely different, and maybe even offensive, just one country over. Okay, for example, let's take the A-OK sign. You know the one, where you touch your thumb and index finger. In a lot of places, it's just a quick, easy way to say everything's good. But is it really that simple? Just look at this. It's kind of wild. In North America, it's a thumbs up, basically. But head over to France and it can mean zero or worthless. So probably not what you want to flash at your waiter after a nice meal. And if you go to places like Greece or Iran, whoa, that same gesture becomes incredibly offensive. Seriously, it's a vulgar insult.
So these aren't just funny oops moments you have on vacation. They reveal something way deeper. Every culture runs on a set of unspoken rules, this hidden code that guides how we all interact. And maybe the most important part of that code is the art of welcome.
But honestly, these gestures are really just the tip of the iceberg. They're all part of a much bigger, much more ancient cultural framework, the code of hospitality.
At its heart, hospitality isn't just about being polite or having good manners. It's this deep-seated tradition, a former relationship between a host and a guest that has ancient roots. In so many cultures, welcoming a stranger wasn't just a kind thing to do. It was a sacred duty. In India, for example, you have this incredible principle, Atiti Devo Bhava. It literally means the guest is God. Just think about that for a second. This belief elevates a visitor to the status of a deity, and it completely frames the interaction with this profound sense of respect and honor. Then in Arabic cultures, you find the concept of karam. This started with the Bedouin nomads, and it's this idea of extraordinary generosity, an almost sacred obligation to provide for a guest. People have even called it an Arab madness for hospitality, where hosts will go to absolutely incredible lengths to impress and care for their visitors.
And of course, in Japan, there's omotenashi. This is a whole philosophy of selfless, wholehearted hospitality. The goal is to anticipate what a guest needs before they even have to ask. It's all about sincere service, perfected through tiny details and with no expectation of getting anything back. It's a truly unique way of making someone feel completely cared for.
So we have these really powerful ideas, right? Treating the guest as a god, this sacred duty of generosity. But how does that actually play out in real life? The differences might actually surprise you.
So let's compare two really famous examples. You've got Southern hospitality in the US. A lot of that is about a general public politeness, friendly chats with strangers in the grocery line, holding doors, this overall sense of community warmth. But Middle Eastern hospitality, coming from that idea of karam, is often more private and intense. It's all about the specific person you've invited into your home. For that person, you'll throw this incredible, generous event. But out in public, interactions with strangers might be a bit more reserved.
So much of this art of welcome is expressed in that very first moment of contact, the greeting. In Malaysia, for instance, a formal greeting is this beautiful multi-step gesture. You lightly touch hands, you release, and then you place your own hand over your heart with a slight nod. It's a whole sequence that's just full of mindfulness and respect. And all around the world, greetings are a fantastic window into a culture's soul. You've got the Maori Hongi in New Zealand, which is literally a sharing a breath. The Tai Wai, a prayer-like bow of respect. In Japan, how deep you bow communicates all kinds of complex social information. In Zimbabwe, handshakes are followed by rhythmic clapping. And get this, in Tibet, sticking out your tongue was historically a sign of peace. It proved you weren't the reincarnation of a cruel king. These traditions are absolutely timeless. But now they exist in a world that's faster and more connected than ever before. So how do these ancient codes of welcome even fit into our modern tech-driven society? Well, first off, let's just talk about the sheer scale. Hospitality is a massive global business. For 2024, the market size is nearly $5 trillion. That is a huge slice of the global economy, and it's connecting cultures on a scale we've never ever seen, which creates this fascinating push and pull between the need for a standardized global service and all those unique local traditions that make travel so amazing. And it is a critical source of employment. Within the next decade, it's projected that 1 out of every 8 jobs on the entire planet will be in the hospitality sector. That makes understanding all these cultural interactions not just, interesting, but absolutely essential for the economy. And the industry is changing so fast.
We're seeing trends like AI agents that can personalize your entire trip and the rise of this immersive experience economy. But one of the most powerful new ideas is something called regenerative hospitality. This actually goes beyond sustainability, which is just about doing no harm. Regenerative hospitality is about actively improving the places and communities we visit. So think hotels that reinvest in local schools or tours that organize community cleanups. It's all about leaving a place better than you found.
But this all brings up a really fascinating question. How do we hold on to that genuine human connection, that spirit of selfless omotenashi or profound karam, when our experiences are more and more shaped by technology? I mean, can an AI butler truly make a guest feel like a god? So, after this whole journey through gestures, philosophies, and what the future might hold, what's the big takeaway here? What is the true meaning of welcome? You know, as the researcher Marie-Therese Short puts it so well, the goal isn't to memorize a dictionary of gestures. It's about developing a mindset of real curiosity and respect. It's about paying attention and learning, not just trying to force our own ways on other people. Ultimately, true cultural understanding isn't about following some rule book. It's about appreciating the values that are behind the traditions. Whether we're talking about a bow, or a handshake, or sharing a cup of coffee, all these rituals tap into the same universal human desire for connection, for respect, and for a sense of belonging.
And that really leaves us with a final thought to chew on. As our world gets smaller and our interactions become more and more global, this ancient art of hospitality has never been more relevant. So the question is, how do we take these lessons to become not just better hosts to strangers in our own homes, but better guests on this planet that we all share?